So, a lot of people have been asking me to speak a little bit more about my experience of autism and ADHD and how the two of them, how I live with both of them. A lot of people who know me when I first came out with my diagnosis were like, no, you don't have autism, which is probably one of the most insulting things you could say to someone when they say I've received an autism diagnosis, because that journey is not easy. It's very painful to really look back at the years of struggle that I have silently, secretly had my whole life. And to have people just be so quick to dismiss it, that was a little painful for me. But my autism shows up with just a hypersensitivity to sounds, to lights, to smells, to the point where I can dissociate. I've spent my whole life learning how to mask my autism, and so internally it's like I'm melting down, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, and on the outside I look like I'm fine, like I'm having a good time, and internally I'm like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. Social anxiety kicks in. I have looked to the outside world for my entire life to find out how to be in social situations. I have alexithymia, which means I have a hard time naming my feelings, feeling my feelings, processing my feelings. I am sometimes it takes me years to process feelings from an event. So, so that's how autism shows up for me, and how ADHD shows up is I have a real challenge with executive functioning, getting myself from point A to point Z, especially with business stuff. And so I've learned to hire coaches to help keep me accountable, to help keep me on task, to get me through those stuck moments. The ADHD is my mind, whew, sometimes my mind goes so freaking fast in so many different ways that it's hard for me to keep up verbally. And so oftentimes that can happen. It's funny how the two balance each other out. And that's why oftentimes in women who do have both, that it looks like they cancel each other out. My gregarious nature, which is the ADHD, looking and seeking for new, exciting, exhilarating experiences, balances out my need for control, introversion, quiet. My house is quite peaceful, everything's in place. And then there are times when everything's out of order, and everything's a mess, and my whole house needs to be put back together. And so it's funny to how those two blend together. I'm curious about your experience. How does it show up for you? And how have you learned to navigate some of those challenges of ADHD or autism? Inquiring minds want to know.